Good day, guys. I have here David, also known as Tunde2deep, here with me on our virtual podcast.
Yeah.
This is basically our second podcast that we are going to be talking about with one of our most talented artists. David, how are you doing?
Well, I'm very fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm great as well. Thank you for asking. Thank you for being here on our podcast. It's
Pleasure is
really
all
an
mine.
honor to have you here with us. You're one of our most talented artists that we work with, and our aim here is to actually make your name go viral, make your name go through the roof, and
Thank
we
you.
want to work with you as part of our family. So
I
welcome
appreciate it.
aboard. So for our viewers, let's begin with a basic introduction about yourself. Tunde2deep is basically your stage name.
Yeah.
What is your real name? Where are you from? Originally, where were you born? Where were you raised? Just give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Oh, okay. So my real name is Babatunde Akinlaye. I'm actually a Yoruba boy. So that's a Yoruba name.
Uh,
David is just my English name, and but I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. That's where I was raised. I was actually born in Ogun State. I was born in Ogun State, but I was raised in Lagos. You know,
so tell me a bit about your music journey, like how you came into music. What was that interested you into being a professional musician and artist, and especially the genre that you were following, that is a mixture of hip hop and Afro and stuff. So, what is the story behind you coming into music professionally?
Okay, so growing up, my dad used to play music a lot. So he played, he used to like Fela a lot. Fela is the king of Afrobeat. So I listened to a lot of Fela growing up. I listened to a lot of Bob Marley. He liked Bob Marley too. And, so music has always been there growing up. And when I got to secondary school, I started listening to rap music, and DMX caught my attention. So while I was in school, way back while I was in school, I started music, but it was not professionally. I loved rap a lot and I loved DMX. So at some point, I was being called DMX. So at later on, after I finished secondary school, I met a couple of friends on the streets, and we used to battle rap. So I actually started music as a battle MC. So we battled. We used to have like different hoods, and we used to go up and down, freestyling and battling. And so from there, I got a record deal in I think 2006. Someone heard me freestyling and
Oh,
really liked my sound, so he decided I met him on the streets. I didn't know him. I didn't really know him, but he liked my sound, and he decided that okay, let's do music. So I started music professionally 2006 as a rapper.
wow.
As a rapper.
That's a long time, and
Yes,
it's
very
almost
long
like
time.
17 years.
I was very young then.
Yeah, true.
Very, very young then.
That's amazing. How old were you when you actually started?
My age then. Let me see. Maybe around. I can't place it right now, but about 20 plus or so. I can't place it right now.
Uh-huh. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's a long journey.
Yes,
So
very
tell
long
us,
journey.
tell our viewers about the first song that you made professionally, like the name of the track and how you actually thought, and what was actually the inspiration behind writing that particular song about your first release.
Okay, so the very first song was a track titled Kashomolo. So I'd been doing rap music at the time, I've been doing a lot of rap, but back in my country, rap was not fully accepted like that. People liked rap music, but people were more into the indigenous kind of sound. So I got a lot of pressure from the kind of music I used to do because I was all about keeping it real, battle MC, just want to rap straight. So my boss at the time, we did three tracks. So he took the three tracks, he took them to, he was friends with the Prince. The Prince was Don Jazzy's younger brother. I don't know if you know Don Jazzy. So he was Don Jazzy's younger
Yeah,
brother.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he took my tracks to Don Jazzy to listen to, and he listened to it, and he sent feedback, and his feedback was like, Nigeria is not ready for this. If you're going to drop a song, you need to tell the people about yourself. As your first track, you need to actually talk about yourself and make it personal, because you're coming out fresh. People want to know who you are. So when I heard that, I told my boss to just give me a short time, and I think he dropped me off at my friend's place. And before 30 minutes, in 30 minutes time, I gave him a call and told him I had a song. The song was ready. Because while he was speaking to me, I was absorbing everything he was saying, and I was already composing the track in my head. So the first song I actually dropped with him was Kashomolo. That's the title. Kashomolo. That was my very first song.
So basically, what our viewers are going to learn from your life story is that you were inspired by your father. Like, your dad was a musician. It basically got your interest. Your father, and his skills.
No, my dad was not a musician, but he loved music.
Like,
he played music.
Yeah, he loved music, and that is basically the source of attraction why you decided that you wanted to get into the music industry and basically be an artist.
Some of it.
That's inspirational, true. But obviously, your hard work pretty much tells a story about the tracks that you've portrayed, and it's basically a really inspiring story. So
thank you.
Have you been in Nigeria since you were born? Like, have you traveled across Nigeria as well?
Well, I lived in Nigeria all my life. I only came to South Africa about almost 4 years now. So I've been here for 4 years. I've been in Nigeria all my life. I've been here before though. Like, I've traveled to a couple of countries, but Africa. Understand? But I lived in Nigeria most of my life. I was born there, bred there.
Okay, so once you started, releasing professional music and recording professionally and actually, just making professional releases.
Yeah.
How would you say that? What basically made your interest that you now want to market it? Like, what was that point where you thought that you need marketing?
Okay, so I've actually been doing music for quite a while, like I said earlier. So it's been like I had a crew, a very big crew, CCMB. So we've made a lot of music, but we never really promoted any of the songs, So it's like we've been working, and we didn't have a direction. We just loved music and we kept on working, And at some point, everybody had to go apart. Because of constraints and time, and life goes on. So at that point, I decided I was going to do music, by myself, not a crew thing anymore. And the only thing that I felt like was missing was actually marketing. That was the only thing that was missing. The songs are there. I have a lot of songs. I have a lot. I'm in my studio right now. I make my songs, so making a song is no problem at all. So getting here, I did meet up a friend of mine, Fred now introduced me to the online side of music, which is Spotify, YouTube, and all of those platforms. And it sounded really interesting. And to be honest, when I started, I didn't really understand where we were going. But right now, I can see the progress and how far I've gone and how far my music has traveled. And I really appreciate it. And, I implore anybody that is getting into music to just jump on the wagon, because we're moving into a time where things are handled differently, and you can always market your stuff if you know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And there is a very interesting question. Like, how has your experience been with Real Music Marketing with us, basically?
Well, it's been amazing. Like, I get followers every day. I get people messaging me, asking questions and liking my song, and It's been very, very good. My streams on Spotify have just been flying high, high, high. So, anybody out there that wants to get their song out to the public, to the world, I'll suggest that you use, Royal Music Market. And what they're the best out
Appreciate
there.
it. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're welcome, bro.
Appreciate it, David. Thank you so much for the kind words.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's talk about like a few more things about your journey, basically. So, are you basically like performing on live shows, and like what is your goal for the next, say, for this year and the next 5 years? Like, what are you planning to do?
Well, I have a lot on my plate, but
Mhm.
I still have to build up my team because I'm an independent artist, and there's a lot. I produce my songs, I sing, write, and all of that. So at
Yeah.
in the past, I've done a lot of live shows, like performing back at home. So I'm at the point
Mhm.
where I don't mind going to, like, I have a couple of places that I've been invited here, but I think I'm more focused on marketing my music so the public can, when I go out there, they already know my song. If you understand what I'm saying. Unlike, that promoting part where I'm still trying to go out and sing and let people hear the song. I want it to be promoted to a point where when I go out, people actually see and this that guy, that's the song, that song. So that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to work on right now. I don't mind going to shows
Mhm.
at all. I don't mind going to shows, but I'm not fighting to go to shows right now like I used to.
Mhm. Yeah, because a lot of artists that we work with, majority of them, they have a different ideology. What they're running after is not, I think, that worth it. And that the reason for that is because what they want to do is they would just want to perform shows in front of a huge crowd. They want to impress people. They want the fame, and eventually, obviously, they want the money as well. But if you ask me, because I've been sitting in this field long enough, it's like a really organized process. Like you cannot get everything at once.
Yeah,
It's going to
true.
take a lot of time. So you got to start somewhere. You start building your music. Then obviously, once you have a stronger fan base, you actually work to improve your social media image, because social media plays a really important role here. And if you ask me, uh, you know, if I'm looking out for someone, I'm not gonna go listen to his tracks first. If there's an artist out there, I probably would use my Instagram, search the artist, then listen to his music. And that is the importance of social media. Like people actually look for the image of the particular artist, and then they fall for the music because um, hear it this way. Like it's not the 1980s where people used to personally know you and they used to actually see you in person physically. We're in the 21st century, and people actually know you through your digital media
What
existence.
they
So
see.
people, yeah, your fans are actually going to fall for your social media. So if you've got a stronger social media, if you like are a verified artist, you're getting into paid partnerships with different brands out there, you are being recognized by a lot of people out there. So eventually, we're just shooting a podcast, okay? Then a lot of different PR agencies, different RJs, if you've got a stronger profile, they get attracted by you. They call you for interviews that are aired live, and they basically that's your gateway through. Like if you've got a stronger social media existence, and that is what I am personally aiming for you, which means that my aim with you is to get you verified at first, okay? And like there are rumors right now that say that you can buy the Instagram tick
Yeah,
as
I was
well,
gonna
but I'm
ask
not
about
sure
that.
how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of rumors ongoing, but I'm personally not a fan of it because I want to legitimize things before we get verified.
yeah, same here.
So yeah, so I personally, I follow the organic method. Like even if it's low in quantity, it's actually worth your efforts that you're doing. So, I mean, where we are headed, as a client and as a marketing agency, I think we're headed into the right direction. All we need is like time right now. Like if we keep on consistently market your tracks, and if you keep on consistently putting out tracks, this year we'll be at a point where what you aim for is going to be on your plate. That is what I believe,
Ja guide.
because you've got the talent, you've got the tracks, we've got the marketing. If we're consistent, we are going to be blowing our career through the roofs.
Of
So
course.
yeah, that's yeah, we're okay. Let's begin. So,
Okay.
David,
Yeah.
tell our family about what artists do you look for when you make music? Like, what's your inspiration when it comes to making music? Like, is there a specific artist or a specific genre that you follow, or are you a versatile artist?
Okay, so well, because I'm a producer, my process
Mm-hmm.
is always very funny sometimes, and sometimes it's always specific. So it depends on the
Mm-hmm.
idea that I'm trying to build on. But most of the time, what I try to do is infuse Afro and reggae. That's what I always try to do on my songs. I always try to infuse Afro and reggae. All my songs will have a touch of that Afro reggae vibe. That's what I try to do
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. So from going online to listen to different kinds of music, beats. First of all, I can start by just listening to beats. Sometimes I like to listen to new artists, to like artists that are not really known, because that way I've been able to
Mm-hmm.
discover a lot of really dope guys out there. So I try to listen to other people that most people don't listen to. I try to be out of the box, so that when I'm creating is something, there's no idea is original. So at the end of the day, if I have
True.
that original idea and I start building it, I always want to listen to a few things to just give me that vibe and that direction towards
Mm-hmm.
what I'm building.
And like uh-huh. And like, is there any particular artist that you follow or that you idolize
Okay,
as a
well,
fellow
well,
musician in this Afro reggae world?
okay, okay, because I started as a rapper, you know,
Uh,
the artist that I actually idolize, the artist that made me pick up a pen for the first time to actually script down anything was Kanye West. I heard Jesus Walks, and it
uh-huh.
was different from the DMX and the Nas gangster thing that I was used to.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
hearing Kanye talk about other things really gave me the motivation that so I can really talk about my life. I can talk about, I don't need to be gangster. I don't need to have the cars or so that was what Kanye brought in for me.
Mhm.
Then for the reggae, I like melody. Rap
Mhm.
at the time did not have melody. So I'll say Kanye too, because I found out he was a producer, and that pushed me into wanting to produce also. So I started looking for the softwares and everything, and from there I started producing. But
Mhm.
for my Afro parts, I like Fela a lot. I like Wizkid. I like to listen to Wizkid because I we come from the same place. I'm from Surulere in Lagos, so that's my hood.
Mhm.
And growing up, I've met him a couple of times. We have mutual friends and all, and seeing
Mhm.
how he has grown. I always listen to him, so I like Wizkid too. Who else? I like
Mhm.
Wande Cole. Wande Cole is one of the best vocalists we have in Nigeria. I don't know who is better than him vocally in Nigeria. So those I listen to a lot of people. I like Skilly Bang. Skilly Bang. When I want to
Uh-huh.
get on my reggae raga vibe, I listen to Skilly Bang, Lila Ike.
Mhm.
There are a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch.
Yeah, so you're basically just following the Afro reggae genre,
Yes,
like majority
exactly.
of your tracks.
Yes, yes.
It's
I
it's
try.
good that you're sticking to what you actually own. So, uh, like professionally, if someone wanted to like evaluate you as a musician or as an artist, uh, so you're basically a producer, you're also a songwriter, you're also a composer, you're also a rapper and a singer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I stopped rapping,
Okay.
but I can't. That's what I know how to do best.
Okay. All right. So tell me, like, what's your creativity process looking like? Like, when, say, if you want to like record a song or write a song initially, like, what is it that you do? Like, is there a specific place or like a specific sort of an environment where you like to go, or would you say that you just sit in your room, take a copy and a pen and just start writing, or do you like to go alone in the wilderness, or what is your creativity process when it's time to write a song?
Okay, so I don't force songwriting, but
Mm-hmm.
I have melodies and words always in my head. So what I do is when it comes, I'm always attentive to the inspiration coming. So when it comes, I pick up my phone and I just record the idea, and
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back and building on the idea. Before I get on the door or to my studio to even record anything, I've already composed the chorus and at least the first verse in my head. That's how I do it. So after dropping that, then I pick up a
So
pen.
basically, uh, uh
Yeah. So I
So
don't
first off, you there is like no specific place that you have to be when
place.
you want to write a song.
I've 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 I've
Uh-huh. Okay.
I've gotten tracks from my dreams that I wake up to just record on my phone.
Uh-huh.
So I don't
So
need to be
first
in a
off, you
specific place.
basically make the beats and then you start
No,
singing
it
on it.
depends. It depends. I- The
Uh-huh.
the
It's not.
the chorus can
Uh-huh.
come first. The bass line can
Oh.
come first. Anything,
Hmm.
anything can come first.
Oh.
Then I just start building on it
So
gradually.
okay. So like where do you think where your fan base majority of your fan base lies? Like, is it in Nigeria, or is it in South Africa, or where do you think your fan base, majority of them, lie?
Well, I'll want to think Nigeria. I want to think Nigeria because before I came here, like I have
Mm.
like I had a crew back then, and I've been doing music for a while back there. So I think coming here now, I'm trying to globalize my music now. I'm not doing music for Nigeria anymore. I'm doing music for the world now. So at the moment, I think I don't know. I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot of people from everywhere, you know, coming on my page and messaging
Yeah.
me. So I'm not sure right now where the majority of my fan base is, to be honest.
Okay. And so tell your fans and our viewers of this podcast, like, what can they expect from you in the upcoming years? Like, how do you want to be proceeding with your whole image, and what is it that your fans can expect from you? Like, are you planning to drop more songs, or where is it that you're actually headed? Because you've got fans from all around the world, and since we do your marketing, we know that you've got a huge fan base in the US as well as in Canada, in the Europe as well, in the UK especially. So where do you think, like, what do you think your fans can expect from you?
Well, I just started audio production, a bachelor's degree in audio production. I started
Mm.
last week. So I'm in the music game for a very long time. I'm going to be in the music game for a very long time. I'm sure of that, and it's what I want to do, and that's why I'm going to school. To
Mm.
actually know what I'm doing. Everything
Mm.
I know about music I taught myself. You know. So now I want to get the real knowledge about music, and also I've been seeing a lot of things. I've been doing some studies on the effects of sound, on the body, and I believe that
Mm.
eventually when I know my craft, I should be able to create music that can actually heal. That's where I'm going with my sound, and that's
True.
why I try to put a lot of emotions into my tracks. My songs are something that you listen to and you feel that emotion. So I'm trying to understand the effects that
Mm.
words, sound, and all of that have on the body in a positive way. So I'm really going to
Mm.
the science of sound and music and all, and I'm going to try to put that into my songs myself. So I'm very sure I'm
Mm.
going to have very like I have songs that are in my head that I'm not ready to record until when things are actually popping. I have songs that I've already recorded that I'm not going to promote until when things start popping, and that's it basically. So I expect my
Mm.
friends to expect a lot of fire from me, a lot of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's amazing. Like,
that's what's up.
so let's wrap this up, David. Cutting the scene off.
Okay.
Now, since our meeting is going to be coming to an end, I'm going to be sharing like the closure of our podcast, which is that I'm going to be promoting you. I'm going
Okay.
to be giving our fans like a recap about you and about uh, your songs, and basically to just come up here to your profile and to your YouTube channel, follow you, subscribe to your channel, and
Okay.
listen to your tracks and share them as much as they can. So we're reviving the scene right now. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys, from our mini podcast, basically, since we're both running out of time. Uh,
Yeah.
this guy right here in front of me is the most talented person that I've come across. He is super hardworking. He's multi talented. He is a lot of things. He is doing a doctorate degree in his genre, which means that the genre that he follows, Afro as well as Reggae, he is an amazing artist, an amazing musician when it comes to his this particular genre. So, guys, I would like to introduce you and sorry, cutting the scene. So guys, I would like to introduce you to our fellow artist, part of our family, who's been working with us for almost a year now. David, that's pretty much what we call him because of his English name, but he's got another name that you can also know. So Tunde2deep is his stage name. He's an amazing talent artist from Lagos, Nigeria. One of the most finest raw talents, that's what I can say. Uh, Follow him, guys. Just go to his Instagram page. It's Tunde2deep, and how it's spelled is Tun uh, two
DE.
as in the number, deep, DEEP. Okay, so Tunde2deep, go to his YouTube channel, subscribe him, follow him on his Instagram, go to his Spotify, listen to his tracks. Success Fever is his latest release, and personally, I'm a big fan of his new release. It's got such an amazing vibe, such a great beat drop. The video is amazing. The lyrics are so in sync. It's hands down one of the best tracks that I've heard this year. So,
Thank you.
guys,
Thank you.
meet Tunde2deep once again. Tunde, David, it was a pleasure to have you with us on our
Same here.
podcast.
Same here.
This is basically the start to our relationship, and we are out to
Bless
build
up.
you as a really big artist. And
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for being here. I hope we connect with you sometime soon, and we're going to be having another podcast session with you again sometime. So until then, that's pretty much it. Really,
All right.
you're such a talented guy. Bless you. You then have a good time, and we're going to be talking to you soon. All right, man.
All
Peace
right.
then.
Bless I, bro. Bless I. Much
Bless.
appreciated.
Let,
Take
let's
care,
do the
man.
fist bump.
Okay.